All right, guys, so these are the V2s by Leather Pros. Got the leather flap up top. You unbutton it, all right, open it up, all right, they do expand, so they will flex. That's a good thing about soft bags, not like our hard bags. You also have a locking mechanism here, all right, you got the latch mechanism here, so if you have them on your bike, you can lock them, pull the key out, that way you don't got to worry about anybody stealing them. You could also take them out and carry them, I guess, if you're like a businessman or something. Just joking. Then you got this front pouch here, all right, this expands too. You can fit some stuff in there also. So we're gonna get into this install. We're pretty excited about these.
All right, what's up guys? So what we're doing now is I'm gonna take out the fender bolts or the fender strut bolts, and I'm gonna replace them with the hardware that's provided. So they actually provide 3 different types or 3 different sizes of bolts depending on what you're running. Like if you're running detachable sissy bar, or if you're not running one, will depend on which bolt you use. So we're gonna use these 2 3/4 bolts because we're running non-detachable sissy bar. All right, so we're running this non-detachable sissy bar, so we're gonna use the 2 3/4 bolts that are provided, and I'll show you how to set up the hardware. So I'm gonna remove 1 bolt at a time. So I'm removing this rear one on the right side first. I'm not gonna reuse this hardware, and I'm gonna use the 2 3/4 bolt, and this is how I'm setting it up. So I got the skinnier spacer going on first, and then I got the fatter spacer going on after. And then I'm gonna use the blinker cover. So on the back side of this, I need to remove the bracket. I'll just show you. So this thing right here, I'm not able to fit the bolt in with this installed, so I'm gonna remove it. All right, what's up guys? So this is the problem that we ran into. So back here, you have this little bracket, and it comes with a little bushing on it, and what it does is it aligns the fender to the fender strut, but the problem that we ran into was the bolt would not fit through this. So what we ended up doing was drilling this out, and then all we're gonna do now is use it as a bushing, because if you look, the bolt does not fit in here. So what we're gonna do is we're going to just put it in there, and so it just acts like a bushing, and then we're gonna slide the bolt through so everything is aligned properly. There we go. And then now what I'm going to do is add thread lock to the nut. All right guys, same deal. So make sure you grab the 2 3/4 bolt. If you're running a sissy bar that's non-detachable, you're gonna throw on the skinny spacer that's longer, and then you're gonna throw on that fat spacer. And then all you're gonna do is run the bolt through. And this actually has a nut plate on the back side, so you don't need a nut on the back side. But what I'm gonna do, so you guys don't beat me up, just throw on that thread lock, that good stuff. Now I torque the holes. Calibrated. All right guys, so right here, big yellow sticker says caution, so you want to read this. It says adjust clamping pressure to 25 to 30 pounds. Ensure bracket fully covers docking points. Lock bags before riding. So what you want to do is adjust your actual clamp pressure. So what it's talking about is the pressure it takes to push this clamp down and it actually stay locked on your bike. You want it 25 to 30 pounds. And it doesn't specify on here foot pounds or inch pounds. I would say it's probably talking about pounds of pressure. So we already tested it a couple times, so we think it's a little bit too loose. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna tighten it, and I'm using the castellations to count my measurements. So we think we need to go about 2, so I'm gonna count these as castellations. And in order to adjust it, you slide your handle up, and then you slide it back, and then you should be able to adjust it. So I'm gonna go 2 castellations tighter, and then I'm gonna attempt to install it. And in order to install it, you need to make sure that your handle's up and it's not slid back, but it's slid forward. That's gonna unlock the latches so you can actually put this guy on. So I found it easier if you slide the rear on first. And when you install this, if you could show them, Rod, you want these metal pieces all the way up against the fat spacers, all right? You don't want it like, for example, with a gap in between the spacers. Then it's not fully locked on. So you want it as close to the spacers as possible. And I'd say right there, it took a little bit of force, but I'd like to see maybe just a little bit more. So I'm gonna try one more, and if that gets too tight, then I'm gonna go back to what I just had. So one more. What do you think? Good? So right there, like I was saying, you want to make sure that these brackets are flush up against those spacers. And then on the inside, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna lock this thing. So in order to lock it, all right guys, so the next step after you actually get them on the bike is you wanna lock this so nobody can just come up here, pull the handle, and then carry it off like a briefcase like Rod showed. So you're gonna have it straight up and down, turn the key sideways, pull it out, and now your $500, $600 bags are locked on there, you know what I mean? So nobody can steal them. All right guys, so care for these bags, we just want to go over it real quick. So these are UV ballistic nylon bags, so a lot of fancy words in there. UV protected though, they protect better against fading from the sun, right? The UV rays. So in order to keep these things dark and looking like they're brand new, you actually need to spray some UV protection on there, and it says about every 3 to 5 weeks. If you're in places like San Diego, and obviously you might need to spray them a little bit more depending on if you're leaving your bike outside or if it's garage kept. What was that?
So or Arizona or something?
Yeah, or Arizona, places like that. And then the same thing with the leather. Everybody knows leather dries out, so you need to put some leather conditioner on this and keep it looking good. Otherwise, this is gonna dry out and it's gonna crack. So normal type of care for these bags. And then down here, really cool thing that they incorporated was a heat shield so your bag doesn't melt, right? These things are really strong, but obviously if we didn't have this here, they might end up melting. So this is just a heat shield, pretty cool.
All right guys, another thing that's really cool about these V2s is they expand. So if you're ever hauling a little more cargo, just pull this flat back. You got all that extra room. So you go from here to there. And then you got these tabs here to put the lid on. Like that. Alright guys, that was probably the one of the easier installs that we've ever done. I would say the hardest part was just that back fender rail bracket, because we had to drill it out a little bit just to get the bolts to go through. But besides that, it was pretty easy. Adjusting them was pretty easy. And yeah, these things are pretty awesome. We're gonna see how much stuff we can fit in them, and we're gonna do a comparison to some other bags. Super excited. I know that Leather Pros came out with the V3s recently, so check those out. But yeah, we're super excited to check these out and do a comparison. Alright guys, that's going to do it for the Leather Pro V2 install. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. We're going to be coming out with a comparison video with some of the other bags that we've installed and that we've tried out. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. That's going to do it for us at Dyna Demos. I'm Rod.
I'm Lego, and yeah, these bags, they're probably like the easiest to install besides the Thrash and Essential bags, which you just throw over the fender. But as far as install goes, like these things are really, really easy to install. I'm Lego, and make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.